Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and with me today is Evan Parliament, the city's CAO. The City of Revelstoke's Finance Department is currently processing the utility invoice payments, but we've seen and heard of a lot of confusion during this process change. So we'd like to clarify a few things. So Evan, on behalf of the city's finance team, can you tell us what is the bill for and when is it due?
So the bill that people have received is for water, sewer, and garbage
Right.
for calendar year 2024. The deadline to pay, council has extended the deadline by 48 hours, so the new deadline is Thursday, May the 2nd.
Correct. So with that, so originally it was April 30th. We've heard the community, their concerns about needing a bit more time because they felt that there was a delay in receiving their invoices through the mail. Our staff had taken the invoices to the post office the last week of March, left there, and then it was disseminated that way. So some people have
That's
just
right.
received them, and we worked through giving them that bit of an extension.
Yeah.
With that. Good.
So
All right.
I just want to jump in, Gary. You know, local government needs to listen to its residents. And when residents were saying, this is the first time ever that we have separated utilities from taxes.
Yep.
And this is a goal that was initiated last year. And I think a lot of people prefer to have utilities separated from taxes. And we want to be accommodating. And we do know that some people got their notices late. And we know that the deadline of April 30th is only 3 weeks away. So to compensate that, we extended the deadline for an extra couple of days, recognizing for those that got the notice late, there is a bit of a sticker shock when you get the bill for the first time, because this is the first time. So we are compassionate about that, and that's the only reason that council and I agreed to extend the extra 48 hours to give people an opportunity to set up a pre-authorized payment plan or just pay the bill outright.
And so some of the community were wondering, why did we do this? And so this process started 5 or 6 years ago. The community had said, listen, it's confusing to read my tax notice. I would like it simplified. So council of the day had suggested we go down that route. So we've gone through this process. We're at this final rendition of it's going out, it's separated off the tax invoice. It's done this way because people wanted to understand clarity. So throughout that, as you said, we've listened to the community and said, hey, this is a way that we can do it so that you can look at things and understand exactly what you're paying for. And so I think it's fairly clear now to look at it and see. So, you know, does this mean our tax invoices will be lower? So how does that work now?
Yeah, so basically, I'm just going to sort of get into local government finance 101. There's 3 major funds that the city operates. The general fund, which is everything, except for water and sewer. We have a water fund and we have a sewer fund. And a water fund is all the operating costs, the treatment of water, the distribution of water, the capital, et cetera. And the sewer fund is the same, the operating of the wastewater treatment plant and the capital of the wastewater treatment plant. Those 2 funds should be user pay in a perfect world.
Right.
They should be based on the users that use it. If you use it more, you pay more. And they're separate from the general fund. The general fund captures everything else, recreation, public works, fire department, police, etc. Property taxes basically are based on assessment, but utilities should be based on a user pay principle. And so why we've separated the 2 bills is to separate those that are based on consumption, utilities, and those that are based on assessment property taxes. So we want to keep the funds independent, water and sewer, from the general fund. That's the primary reason we've separated it. I think it's best to educate the public through this process. So much dollars go toward everything else, fire, police, recreation, but then you also pay your utilities. And water, sewer, and garbage, moving forward, will be based on a user pay principle. Once we introduce water meters down the road, it'll even be more exact, where we know exactly how much water is going in and how much water is going out on each unit, and that's based on consumption.
And right now with utilities, people are paying pretty much the same across the board.
Right.
Each of the residents for those who are receiving those three services,
Right.
water, sewer, and garbage.
That's right. And the old way, you would get back to your question, the old way you'd get one tax notice, you'd get one tax bill inclusive of utilities. Moving forward in 2024, you're going to see just your tax bill that deals with the general fund and the costs, and your utility bill that deals with the two other funds. So your overall tax bill may go down because you are no longer paying utilities, but the taxes to fund everything else may go up. There's other requisition authorities, the CSRD and hospital, they may go up. So I don't want to sit here today and say that taxes won't be going up. They will be going up over the years, battle inflation, etc. But what will not be on the tax bill is your utility amount.
Yeah, and I think really what you're saying is people will get their tax notice and they're wondering, okay, is it going to be less than it was last year?
Right.
It's not going to have the utilities on, so conceivably it
Yes.
could be less.
Yes.
But we know that there's a bump in taxes. This year, it's a slight bump for the municipality. It's a little higher for CSRD,
Correct.
a little higher for library and for hospital. So we're collecting all of those things, and school, right, all on that one bill. So we can't state, is your overall invoice going to be less at tax
That's right.
time? So, I don't want to confuse people, but just so they understand, there is a difference. The idea here, as you've mentioned, separate them off. People can understand this is what I'm paying for my utilities. They'll know exactly what they pay a year for garbage. They'll be able to understand it because it's clearly defined on this.
That's right.
So the other question is, if someone's on pre-authorized payments, why did we send them a bill with a balance due?
Right. So we at the city encourage people to be on pre-authorized. It's a simple system. We don't have to be chasing the users. The users know every month that they're paying their fair share, and it's clean. So we encourage that. So when we separated the bills, we've got January, February, March, and April. And the deadline's May 2nd, and then we have the rest of the year, the other 8 months. So ideally, all we want people to do is pay the first 4 months because it's calendar year. So pay January, February, March, April, and then go on pre-authorization for the rest of the year. That's the simplest way and the best way. And you have an option to do that with no penalties. You just make arrangements with City Hall. Post May 2nd, you're on pre-authorized for the balance of the year and the next year and the next year after that. You never hear from the city. It's done and it's clean. That's what we're encouraging people to do.
Great. All right. That's good. So, Evan, thanks for helping me answer the key questions around this topic. I'm hoping we can get this process kind of streamlined for 2025 as well, and really be able to have residents understand where we're going with this. So this is the first, as you've said, going out. There's a bit of growing pains, even for us, as to how all of this is working. One of the things I wanted to touch on is we appreciate you asking the questions in our community or asking the questions of our staff when you phone in, but use some discretion when you're talking to them. Don't yell and scream at them. They didn't bring this on. This was a decision by council to separate this off. They've done nothing wrong. They're trying to help you understand how it works. But being disrespectful isn't getting anywhere. And I really think that people need to understand, listen, they're there to do their job.
Yep. And we have great staff. And I do want to make a shout out to all the staff that have been working hard. This is the first time for Revelstoke.
Right.
And it's also coupled by the fact we're doing renovations. So people come down to City Hall, the main Mackenzie Main Street entrance is closed. They're diverted to the side. When you enter the side of the building, the space is small. People are frustrated with the separation of the bill. The average bill is roughly $1,300 for an average home. I can understand why people are frustrated, but the staff shouldn't have to feel that brunt. This is a policy decision from council. We've instructed staff to do it. We've done it. I'm just appealing to the people. Just be nice and kind to staff. This is a decision of council, but I do understand the frustration with renovations going on this time of year. I know money is always tight, and I recognize that some people found out that their utility bill is roughly $1,300 of their total tax bill, and that's why we're encouraging you to go on a pre-authorization plan. But yeah, treat staff with respect. You know, that's all we asked.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for that, Evan. All right, thanks as well to our audience for listening in. Be sure to take a few moments to watch our other videos on the City Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels. Thanks again. And thank you, Evan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.